Joseph Capen was born on December 20th, 1658. He married Priscilla Appleton of Ipswich in 1684. He graduated from Harvard in 1677 and moved to Topsfield in 1682 to become the minister of the Congregational Church. At the time Joseph moved to Topsfield, the town was in disarray. Two of the last three preachers of the church had difficulties collecting their salaries, and another went on trial for intemperance. There are many disputes over land boundaries among the town residents that normally ended in gunfire or drunken brawls. At night, wolves would roam the streets preying on farm animals. The town was unruly and did not know how to govern itself. The colonists did not really have anyone to tell them what to do. There are many families in town that could not afford to pay their taxes. There are also many affluent families in town, the Goulds, Perkinses, Towns, and Averils, that created most of the town's income. We can still see the influence of these families in Topsfield today. The conflict between wealthy and poor was great, also contributing to the unstableness of the town. When Joseph first arrived in the town, he was probably appalled at what he found. When Joseph was minister, Topsfield learned how to govern itself, and the town began to be more orderly as a result of Parson Capen's influence. There were still disputes among the residents, but they would be resolved peacefully with Parson Capen's help. Even the wolves had left the streets, perhaps chased by men that would collect a 10-shilling bounty for each one brought back dead. The town slowly began to be more disciplined under Parson Capen's guidance. Stocks were put in to punish wrongdoers, as was customary at this time, and the people that could not afford to pay their share of taxes were forced to leave. By 1729, all of the common land was divided among the citizens in proportion to the amount of taxes they paid. Joseph was also very concerned with the education of Topsfield's children. Joseph wanted every child to read and write before they started school. Joseph also had a desire for everybody in the town to be self-sufficient. Also during Parson Capen's ministry, the town of Topsfield was involved with the Salem witch trials. Mary Easty, a member of Capen's congregation, was accused of witchcraft and was hung in 1692. Joseph, along with 6 other members of the church, traveled to the Salem witch trials to try to stop them. Before Parson Capen became minister of Topsfield, the town was in need of someone like the minister to help them through their struggles. The arrival of Parson Capen was ideal for the development of the town of Topsfield because he helped change Topsfield into a functioning cog in the colonies. As a result, Topsfield was able to play a role in the American Revolution. 63 men from Topsfield stood at Lexington and Concord on April 19, 1775 to rebel against the British. The social and political structures of towns like Topsfield strengthened the struggle for independence. On June 30th, 1725, Joseph died, but Topsfield by that time had put most of its early problems behind them. Parson Capen is currently buried in the Pine Grove Cemetery in town. The Capen family lived in now what is called the Parson Capen House. Located on the town common, it was built in 1683. The house remains intact in Topsfield. The house is entirely made of wood from local oak trees. The foundation is made of unmortared fieldstones, also locally supplied. By comparison to other houses in Topsfield, the Parson Capen house would have been considered a mansion. By contrast, most of Topsfield residents lived in 1- or 2-room houses. The Parson Capen house consists of 3 stories, and on the first floor there is a large-sized parlor. Because the parlor was big, it was probably used for meetings and sometimes public events. Parson Capen probably mediated some disputes among the residents of Topsfield in this room. The parlor would have been used for other activities like weaving cloth such as linen. There is also a kitchen on the first floor where they would cook their meals and eat. The family would cook their meals in heavy cast iron pots above a roaring fire in the fireplace. There are 2 fireplaces in the house, one in the kitchen and one in the parlor. All of the utensils were probably made by local blacksmiths or imported from Britain. There was no running water in the house, so they got their water from a well located in the backyard. There was probably an outhouse in the backyard as well. The architecture of the house is Elizabethan style. On each corner of the house there are decorative acorns, and the front door has a decorative pattern formed by nails. On the door is a unique keyhole that serves as its lock, opened by a skeleton key. The front door measures 5 feet 5 inches tall. The front door was short because it was the style of the day. Some have speculated that the average height of colonial Americans was less than it is today. The door hangs on wrought iron hinges that were probably made by a local blacksmith, as is the front handle. At the time the house was built, there were no glass or brick manufacturers in the colonies, so they had to import bricks for the chimney from Britain along with the glass for the windows. In 1913, the Topsfield Historical Society purchased the Capen House. The house was restored under the direction of George Francis Dow. The Parson Capen House was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1960. The design of the Parson Capen house is still popular today, even though it was built in 1683. There are many reproductions of the house all over the country. We have one here in Topsfield located on Orchard Lane. The grounds of the Parson Capen house, which includes the Gould Barn, are used for private functions. In modern times, the Parson Capen house provides a link to the past. It serves as a reminder of an important time of the town of Topsfield's development as well as an important time in the development of America.